I'm Brittany Packnett. I'm an activist, an educator, and a writer, and somebody who very fervently believes in freedom and justice. I'm obsessed with the combination of love and power. There's a quote from Dr. King that I discovered after I had already started using this phrase, but he essentially says that power without love is reckless and love without power is anemic, right? It's not useful. But the two of them together are really the force that can change the world. And so I'm really obsessed with this idea of being as powerful as I can and having that power be informed by love, being informed by love for myself, for my people, for my community, for this country, for this world. If people who have power decide to use it in loving ways instead of some of the ways that we're seeing right now, we'd have vastly different outcomes. So being an unapologetic educator, leader, speaker means telling the truth out loud and in public, not backing off from it, not letting anyone convince you that it's wrong simply because it makes people uncomfortable. I am a believer in purpose, I'm a believer in calling, and I feel like the calling on my life is to speak and teach truth to move people to action. And really helping people understand that we are legitimately stronger together. Whether the way that they take it on is through women's rights and reproductive health or LGBTQ issues or immigration issues, all of those things are knit together in a fabric of freedom. And none of us are free until all of us are free. And so as a cisgender woman, I am not free until trans women are free, right? As a person who was born in America, I am not free until immigrants are free. And I try to do more to help people connect the dots between our struggles, to help people recognize that people of color are the global majority. So freedom can actually be ours if, for example, we stop using the word minority because we're not one. If we actually work together in solidarity instead of in competition. I'm grateful that there have been a lot of successes as we built Campaign Zero. We wanted to create a platform that was usable by literally anyone. We wanted to give people access to information and to a new way of doing things. So if you go on to joincampaignzero.org, what you see is the data that tells you how it is and the policy that tells you how it can be. And so we literally wanted to make something that people could print out and take directly to their mayor, to their police chief, to their city councilor, and say, this is what I want to see happen in my community. And here's 60, 100, 3,000 other people who want to see that happen with me. You are meant to fill the gaps that you see. If you see a gap in society, in justice, in the way in which the world works, it is because you were uniquely positioned to help fill it. But you have to actually get there and be conscious enough about what that gap is and what talents and treasure and time you have to offer to filling that gap. Teach for America has evolved over many, many years. We are nearly 30 years old, and one of the primary and I think most important ways in which we've evolved is our orientation to culturally responsive teaching, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know good teachers come from everywhere, but we also know that there can be an additional profound impact if the role model that you're seeing in front of your classroom looks like you, or came from where you came from, or grew up in similar socioeconomic circumstances. Matters of identity matter in the classroom, and how you think through yours and how you approach your students and how they approach you. Those are all things you have to be thinking of alongside the rigor and the academics in your classroom. A lot of times people will look at folks like me or DeRay or Netta or whomever and see us operating on a national level. This all started with local work. And yes, we have national influence now, but this is still local work. All politics are local. And so if the difference that you want to see made is in how children experience their education, then go to a school board meeting and find out how those funds are actually being allocated. If you want to see a difference in how veterans are cared for because you yourself or someone that you love or care about is a veteran, you need to actually go visit the VA in your area. See how the care is. Ask them what they need, because chances are you have a way to actually help and support that. I think it's important to ask yourself that question about what you want to see be true in the world because you are here. And then to start with your neighborhood, with your region, with your community, and figure out how you can make a change on that thing right where you are.